Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please?
Like and subscribe.
Welcome to the Sit, Walk, Work podcast, a show about paying attention. My name is Dominic and I'm your host, and today is a guided meditation. And what you can expect is that the practice will open up with a brief recap, followed by the actual practice itself. If you find today's episode valuable, please share with your friends and family, and feel free to leave a review wherever you listen to podcasts. The show will begin after the following chimes. Today when I was walking into work, I said good morning to one of my employees. I asked them how they were doing today. And they said, sir, I'm here. I said, oh man, well, I'm glad you're here, number one. Number two, though, let's see if we could flip that perspective a little bit, because you woke up and somewhere, someone today did not do that. And he paused and he said, you know what? You're right. I definitely could see that. And I think that's how often we get stuck in this life. Like, it becomes harder and harder as the challenges of life begin to compound for us to remember just the simple joys of a moment. Our practices like meditation, like the one you're sitting down to do today, they are a starting point to bringing you back to that connection place, back to the idea that you can love the humble art of daily living, making time for it, trusting the effort that you're doing will produce fruits, having faith in the practice. We talked about that in previous classes. Last week, we worked around the idea of metta, loving kindness, trying to build some compassion. These are the places where the soft skills get refined. This is the invitation I give you today. Refinement over judgment, presence over progress, patience and understanding over perfection. Welcome back, or welcome to the practice for the first time. Like I said, I'm glad that you're all here. If you haven't already, put yourself in a comfortable position, seated, lying down, somewhere in between. As I like to say, first things I'd like for you to be able to do is take a good breath in. Make sure you have a posture that supports your breathing. So, because being able to feel our breath is such a critical anchor, you don't want to collapse your ability to do that. So, take a couple breaths. And then taking these few breaths, just breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. We start to send the signal. I like to think of it as the signal of transitioning, preparing to move into this dedicated time in which we try to slow down and learn to become more attentive and to be in touch with these parts of ourselves that often can go unnoticed and drive various patterns within us. So I think meditation is a wonderful art in which we kind of can learn how we experience our daily lives. And so keep that sense of curiosity, that willingness to explore the changing nature of your experience. Now, that doesn't mean you will love or like everything that comes through your purview, but over time, you will learn that you can be with it all. Your capacity changes, and that's what we're hoping to obtain, to be able to hold the entirety of ourselves in this moment. Today's practice is going to be a continuation. Last week, I had us working on some metta or some compassion and benevolence towards ourselves. And so we're going to continue with that bit of a theme as we begin to move into focusing our attention, letting it begin to notice kind of the body. And we'll start kind of wide with this one and just kind of feel the weight of your body seated or lying down right now. And as you are using your attention to scan and notice this this weight of your physical presence, I want you to see if you can kind of release and relax a bit of your weight into the surface that's supporting you. Sometimes we kind of grip and hold tension in spaces, and it can be interesting if you allow that tension to soften and release and really allow what whether it's the seat or the bed or the couch or cushion that you're seated on to really just kind of absorb and support you. So just take a moment to let your attention notice that change in your body's density. When the attention is wide like this, you can really start to notice a variety of sensations. And so, with this first kind of scan of the body, I just kind of want you to notice sensations that are the most prevalent. Where are you feeling things the most? There's not a right or wrong answer, but in inspecting this, it's about witnessing how those sensations alter and shift, especially under the weight of your attention. This role of observation is critical in your practice because there's a few things happening. There's the observation taking place, but there's also the physical sensations you're feeling. There's the energy of the thinking mind moving in and about, sometimes providing commentary to what's happening. So if you notice your attention being nudged away from this just feeling of the body, allow yourself patiently to return back to just sensing and feeling body. As you are holding your attention here with the body, let it widen a bit now and start to see if you can notice the parts where sensations are less prominent, less dominant. So maybe now we flip the attention a little bit to kind of look for the negative space, the space where you don't feel a lot of things. You can let the attention float between sensing and feeling a part of the body and then kind of noticing where sensation is smaller, less prevalent. Being aware of what happens as the attention kind of scans here and comes across those places where you might not notice sensation. Notice if there's any changes once your attention is applied. It is through the power of observation that conditions and situations alter and adjust. That's why you must be aware before you can change something or before something changes. Bringing now the attention in a bit more narrowly. And I want you to rest your attention on the center of your heart. And I want you to imagine that with each inhale, you're breathing into the heart space. And each exhale, you're letting that energy dissipate and flow back into the body. So the breath coming in is an enlivening and energizing the heart. The breath going out is then spreading that out and through you. You can imagine that breath moving into the heart space and expanding out from the heart in any creative way that is enlivening for you with size and color and space. But just this idea that we are flowing energy in and then sending it back and out and through us. Beginning to allow the quality of metta or loving kindness to kind of be the energy that flows in with the in breath. That's a sense of kindness, of benevolence, of compassion. And it's really for yourself, a loving, kind thought, a bit of patience and understanding, some grace for having shown up, both here and today in general. Letting the energy of these thoughts ride the wave of the in breath into the heart and then letting that kind of move out and into the body, looking to nourish and serve this body that sometimes we have a complicated relationship with, but it too providing you the capacity to be here, to be present, for this moment to be unfolding. A reminder that it doesn't need to be perfect to be okay. that it is what it is now. And that can change as soon as the next breath. If you find that the mind gets lost in some other place and time, maybe somewhere in the future or somewhere in the past or in a story about how you're performing in this moment, notice that to be the distraction. Allow it to release and simply reset. We call it beginning again. Here, the nature of your practice is such that is forgiving enough, it has the space enough for you to always start over. And if this moment can hold the space for you to begin again, you can give yourself the gift of arriving in the moment with a bit of patience and willingness to work with this allowance for kindness, for the sense that you're worth the time investing, that you're investing to build and grow this skill, to nourish yourself in the ways that we've looked to others for, to learn to trust our own words of kindness. To meet ourselves as we would meet a dear friend. Eventually, the goal would be to breathe in the qualities I've thus described and any others that have arisen for you. And instead of just letting them stop by in your body on the exhale, allowing the exhale to move in through the body and out and wider to the surrounding space around you. Because in essence, that is the next step in the progress. Is that as we develop kinder relationships, friendlier relationships with ourselves, we can then move that energy beyond us to our friends, to our families, coworkers, and strangers. in the hopes that we can pass along the understanding that there is a way to move a little softer through this thing we call life. Allowing the attention now to soften, soften a bit from following the breath into the heart and sending out that loving kindness energy through the body and out and further into the space around you. And as you relax your focus specifically from that part of the practice, allow it to be here in this space. Being is one of the more challenging parts of our practice, especially early on when it's noisy still. It can be hard to notice the other subtle parts of the practice. So keep your patience and understanding as you kind of allow the moment to be here with all the inputs coming through: sounds, sensations, thoughts, the breath. All of it a new opportunity for you not to grab or cling too tightly to any of them, to find what we call a sense of equanimity, a balance of all of them. They come, they go, they shift, they change. In this way, we're allowing ourselves to be instead of to simply do. In this part of the practice of being, we suspend the need for a specific outcome and allow ourselves to navigate the moment as it is. In this way, we come to investigate and learn that in this moment, there isn't anything that is needed right now in this moment. Beginning to allow the attention to re anchor to a focal point. Maybe that's back to the breath or noticing the quality of your thoughts in the mind, or even a physical sensation. And zooming in and zooming out with our attention in this way, we not only build our muscles of concentration, but we also expand our understanding of the capacity of the present moment, of the spacious nature that is always with us in each moment. As we begin to close out practice today, take time to thank yourself for the effort that you put into class today, to this moment today, to being willing to show up and sit today. And it doesn't matter the outcome as much as it matters that we continue the art of showing up, because it's in showing up that you create the conditions for the changes to arise. When you're ready, you can slowly begin to open the eyes, take your time coming back and bringing back all of the sensations as the eyes open. It's more stimulation for your attention to kind of manage.
That's the beauty of it.
Thank you for listening to today's episode. I invite you to check out my Substack, where we are building a community of like-minded individuals to discuss all topics related to the idea of paying attention. I hope to see you there. But until then, with metta may you be well.
Like and subscribe.